Thank you for joining us wherever you are. This podcast episode is brought to you by the Old Ways Actual Play team. This actual play uses the Mage the Ascension 20th Anniversary rules by Onyx Path Publishing. This actual play is performed by adults and contains adult themes. Our World of Darkness is intended for adults. Listeners should pay close attention to all listed content warnings. All content, including names, places, events, companies, and etc., which may bear resemblance to entities living or dead, is strictly coincidental. My name is Michael Diamond, and for tonight's game, I will be your storyteller. Thank you for joining us again on another episode of the Old Ways Podcast. I am your storyteller this evening, Michael Diamond. My pronouns are he, him, and we are back with Mage, The Great Beyond, our Mage the Ascension stories. It's moved along, and we want to welcome you in. I want to thank you for listening, and for those of you who are our lovely Patreon supporters, we want to thank you for supporting the show and helping us do everything that we get to do. And so make sure you check us out there, and then, of course, on YouTube and on Twitch at twitch.tv/theoldwaystwitch. And so now we will get to player and character introductions. We begin to my right.
Hi, I'm Allie, and I play Kayleigh Hannah Godfrey, and I am looking for paradise.
Aren't we all? Aren't we all, Kayleigh? Very good. And next to Kayleigh.
This is Lecco playing Dante Maxim Vargas Bailey, who, after a brief round of rests, is going to have some questions for his judgment-impaired sibling.
Yes, and I can't wait for it. And with Dante.
Hi, I'm Bunny. I play Dante's tutor. Our pronouns are she, her. And depending on how he handles it, I might have some questions for my sometimes judgment-impaired mage.
Fantastic. Next to tutor.
This is Jake, and I'll be playing Oliver Devereaux, and I have things to do. Clock is ticking.
Yeah, clock is ticking for a lot of the different things that you have going on, Oliver. And at some point, the rent's got to be paid.
That's right.
So with Oliver.
This is Silas. I'll be playing Suits, and we'll see what other vices we can indulge while trying to pay the rent.
It's part of life. And I mean, you're here now, so you might as well enjoy it while you can. And last but most certainly not least.
Hi, I'm Luna, or Druid by Night. You can find me at Druid by Night on all the social medias, including on Twitch where I stream. You've probably seen me run with the Rolling Nomads a time or two, but for this time zone and this game, I will be playing Camilla Moser, Garu.
Mm-hmm. Splendid. Thank you for joining us again, Luna. We appreciate that very much. So we are going to raise the curtain tonight in the desert. And in that desert, said desert, one Kayleigh has been searching out and talking to strange people around Good Springs, a man by the name of Rick, and has gotten a tip that there might be someone who fashions themselves to be a guru who is off in the desert somewhere, who is dispensing strange knowledge to people who go and seek him out. And they've given you the idea that if you head northwest to one of these old mines that have been abandoned, a mine called Paradise, that you might be able to locate them. And so you had just come out here by yourself, although technically with Mr. B, who, for whatever reason, you don't know where he's gone. He gets up to all sorts of stuff. So, just looking on a simple map program, you can tell essentially where this guy Rick gave you the tip. But the issue being that there's not a whole lot out there. It's basically a dirt road that goes somewhat near this mine. There's nothing as far as services or really anything out here.
So, I was given directions to be able to find this guy. Go up this, dirt road, go to the radio tower. So the thing that I'll end up doing is I'll follow the directions that I got from that guy at the bar and see if I can find this quote-unquote guru at Paradise.
Okay. So you take some of the afternoon and you drive into the desert. So unlike some of the deserts you might be thinking of, essentially this Nevada desert is mostly rock and hills There is some traditional sand or whatnot just because of the temperatures and the lack of vegetation, but it does look much more like Badlands than, say, a traditional desert. You see that there's a few Jeep tracks out here, back and forth. They're really the only noticeable thing that you can follow on here is power lines. Simple wood telephone pole and power line setup. And you follow it out in the desert. It takes you just a little while to get there. But you get near the mine and you see that there's like essentially like a trail that goes off towards the space.
Mm-hmm. Like I guess the question is like, how far can I take like my car up? Because like if it's a matter of that, like I'm gonna have to park, I'm fine doing that to, walk further, because either the trail is, like has like a bunch of like dead plants and shit in it, or rocks or whatever. So it's a matter of how far I can take my car versus how far I have to walk.
I think you can take your car probably within, say, maybe 1,000 feet or so of where you think the opening is. You don't see a lot of obvious tire tracks that lead up to the place. Like they drive by it. And there are some markers that show that this is where this Paradise mine used to be, but these signs are old. The two that you pass, they're beat up, shot up.
Well, I'm driving in the middle of the desert, so I'm not really worried about like a carjacking necessarily. But I'll drive up to like within that like 1,000 feet, and I'll park my car and I'll take my keys out and I'll lock it, and I'll go up to, the entrance.
Okay. You hoof it all the way up to Paradise Mine. The entrance looks pretty disused. There's no structures here that are built. You walk up to what looks like a collection of railroad ties, maybe, that used to be part of the opening. So the opening to the mine itself is really set into just a small space in the ground. There really isn't, for that much impact, there really isn't that much visually here. It looks like basically a fucking hole in the ground that is not circular. It's about the size of a door. And there's a collection of railroad ties, and you start to see detritus, like junk. There's a place for a campfire, etc.
And I'll call out, hello? Let's see if I get any answer.
It echoes. You get no answer.
I'll pull out my phone and like turn on my phone flashlight, and I'll walk further in.
Okay. You walk in. So the mine, as you walk into this space, you see that at one point it certainly was used. But long ago, the structure, the actual system of rails that made up the mine is long since disused. It echoes. It's warm down here. And then it gets, as you continue to progress down, it gets a little bit more humid. The stones on the walls here are a little bit discolored as well. It almost looks like there's maybe graffiti.
Okay. Like, is it like faded or dusty? Like people haven't ventured down this far for a while?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
And then why don't you give me, as you continue to move down in the mine, why don't you give me a perception alertness roll?
Yeah. 3 successes.
Okay. So with the light that you have from your phone, you come across something that looks a little newer than some of the other pieces in here. And you see a mostly engineered ladder made of wood. It's been hammered together with 2x4s and 1x, and it goes down. Like, you're walking through part of the mine and you see that there's a hole that is mostly covered up by floorboards so that way people can walk across. And there's a portion here where someone has built a ladder and it goes down. And there is a sign attached to the ladder. It's white. It's probably no bigger than 2 foot by maybe 1 foot. And in a strange, I guess, probably purple spray paint, someone spray painted the word paradise, and there's an arrow that points down.
And we delve deeper because I'm going down the ladder.
Okay. You go down the ladder. Just starting down the ladder is somewhat of an adventure. It's an adventure because the ladder, you realize, is in effect secured to the side of the mine wall, and there's an awful lot of empty air space around you all of a sudden. And you also realize that it's not a straight drop down. It's not a very safe trip. It doesn't mean you can't do it, but it is definitely touch and go for quite a while as you continue to go down. You probably drop, if your intent is to continue past what you think is safe. I mean, you probably move 50 feet down.
That's not an insignificant amount down into the earth.
It is not.
I mean, I'll go down until my feet touch solid ground again.
Okay.
So if that means that it's 50 feet, even if it means that I'm moving kind of slow and like have to just like hang on to the ladder to rest or like gain whatever I need to, I'll do that. But I'm finding out what I need to from this guy. Like I didn't drive all the way to the desert for nothing.
Okay.
Or, God, I hope not.
Your feet touch solid earth. And when they do, you sort of shine the phone around, just trying to get a better look at things. And when you get about 180 degrees away from the ladder and fully turned around, there is suddenly a person standing there. So the light illuminates a man roughly maybe 5'8", 5'9", somewhat disheveled, certainly not shaved. He wears circular glasses, a bit tinted. He has a dirty-ish gray shirt on, and he has, I think that those might be sweatpants.
Not much of a guru.
And he looks at you. You shouldn't be here.
That's entirely possible.
It's not just possible, it's probable.
I'm looking for someone that is referred to as a guru. Is that you?
What do you want, Miss Godfrey?
Excuse me, what?
What do you want?
How do you know my name?
I wouldn't be much of a guru if I didn't know who you were or what you wanted.
Okay, if you know what I want, then what did you give to Michael?
Like, I've had this debate with you like 100 times. I gave him opportunity. You just didn't use it right.
As a storyteller, do I know this guy?
No, you have no idea who this person is.
Okay. Well, I can tell you for sure that we have never had this conversation before, at least as far as I can recall.
Yeah. It's because you don't think of things and see them like I do. I don't know what happened specifically, but I do know that he should have been doing what he did. This stuff is pretty heavy duty.
Yeah, it's killed people.
Yeah, because of misuse.
So then how are you supposed to properly use it? What is the proper use, and how would he have used it if he... Like, did you not teach him how to properly use it? Or was he misusing it after being taught?
So let's play a little game here, shall we, Miss Godfrey? Let's assume that I believe you deserve an answer to any of those questions. I don't answer to you. You're not a law enforcement officer. And let's imagine for just a second that I give a fuck about what you think.
Okay.
There's a place south. It's real rural. Just put it that way. There's people there that have been using something like this, sort of the main ingredient in it, for hundreds of years, to take vision quests, to walk among the stars, to meet their gods and goddesses. And for the longest time, nobody had ever seen it. Nobody ever touched it outside of that rural community.
Are you talking about ayahuasca?
No. I'm not talking about something you can get at a GNC store. I'm talking about something rare, something protected, something that traditional shamans, real ones, would never even talk about, not with outsiders. Until they did, until somebody opened their mouth. And a little sample of it got into some people's hands.
Into your hands?
No. Somebody practices a little bit more of the pharmacology than me. They figured out how it worked. They figured out what it could do. And then they decided, in their infinite wisdom, that what the street needed was a new drug. And so they started producing it. Except that it's starting to kill people.
Yeah. So when you say producing, are they growing and harvesting, or is it a chemical compound?
No.
They found out what the chemical compound is and they're using that.
They've tried for a real long time to try to synthesize it. It doesn't work that way. It's got to grow in the earth. And so they've done all sorts of different things to try to get it to do the thing they want it to do. Except that the truth of the matter is, you can't really fake Mother Earth. You can try, but it doesn't work. Michael came to me a long time ago. He was pretty troubled. He had a difficult home life. He had a mother who ran out at him, and his father was left with nothing but raising a boy full of rage. He'd gone to counselors. He'd gone to the church. Nobody could help him. He came out here looking for answers.
So, if he found those answers out here, then why did he go back to the church seeking additional help?
You want the straight answer, the single word answer? Capitalism. Shit costs money, Kayleigh. Life, living.
Yeah, I'm well aware.
Yeah, so how is this hard for you then? Michael went back because he needed money. He did the thing I told him not to do. I said recreational use only. Meditative, purposeful reasoning. Don't sell it. And he started to sell it. And then he got somebody killed.
And then he got himself killed. I don't know if his death was an overdose or if it was something else. I just know that a young man is dead. And I'm looking for looking for answers for essentially where exactly this drug came from, more correctly, who's producing it at this point. Just because you introduced him to it doesn't necessarily mean that you're the one who's producing it.
I'm not producing it. Not anymore. I burned everything I had. Got a bit of a recreational sample, but that's it. I don't even need this stuff anymore. If I want to visit the spirit world, I just do it.
I understand.
Yeah, I bet you do. Listen, I'm sorry about what happened to Michael. I don't feel like I could have really stopped him. It's not my way.
Well, no. To be honest, from what I've heard about Michael, there probably wouldn't have been stopping him no matter what. But thank you. And I will leave you alone now. Oh, actually, one more thing. How far south is this town? This community where it was originally grown?
Why?
So that I can provide answers to people who can probably use that information more readily than I can.
For what purpose? What are they going to do?
I would like to consult with a group of people who specialize in information so that way they can go to that community and help them figure out who the leak was.
No way. No way. People have already died. Giving up where the community is probably certain death for them.
It's also a certain death for more people if this drug continues to stay out on the street.
It's not being produced in that community anymore. There's no production plant down there. It's the plant has been harvested and is now being prepared by fuckers in lab coats now.
Okay, well, if you have ties to that community and they don't know who it is, and you do, you might want to tell them. And I'll turn around and go back up the ladder.
Okay. He stays there. You make your slow ascent up a rickety ladder.
Yep.
Okay. I wonder if I can inquire, Dante, what's the next move after drinks with Jay and that sort of nightly message?
So I had retired to my personal residence.
Yes.
That night, and basically Dante's morning would proceed the way it has been for the past couple months now. He would start his 90-minute routine, listen to the 9-segment 10-minute broken up into audiobook, kind of recentering and refocusing all of his efforts, performing necessary enhancements and adjustments based on his his feelings about what happened yesterday, reflecting on, we'll say, the excessive amount of violence he decided to participate in, the impact it had on his body and his emotional state, and just kind of recentering himself, knowing that today might be a little tricky because he needs to check in with the rest of his family, and he did not anticipate this whole situation with Mariana, and he's kind of trusting Camilla to see that through, while he has other siblings he has to kind of contend with. While one has issues going on at school, the other one is locked up somewhere, and I haven't been to visit him yet. My question is, do I know who's operating as his representation at this point? Like, has he secured an attorney? If not, do I need to find him one? Or do I have access to resources that would allow me to not even necessarily like utilize a company representative, but can I use my resources through like our pipeline to find, I guess, a sympathetic defense attorney?
I think it's something you can attempt through the pipeline. Certainly, most of the legal efforts that are sort of wrapped up in your contract to deal with you directly.
Mm-hmm.
So Dante's a pretty smart egg. I'd say that you're fairly certain that if you found a way to show a need for legal services,
that's easy. Considering the nature of his potential, his alleged crime, due to the fact that he is accused of attempting to defraud the MGM Grand, which is not only a potential venue but a former employer of mine. It could prove to be quite a stain on my reputation and thus affect my potential public facing outside of any other transgressions I may have personally committed. This is an external force that might have an effect on my ability to secure a venue, to secure an event, to secure anything.
Mhm.
So that's what I would attempt to leverage, is the fact that we need to figure out a way to clean this up quietly, because if the MGM decides to press charges and it becomes a very public thing in which we don't know how big it is or who the players are, who knows how big this could get or how nasty it could get or how loud it could get.
Okay. So
I'm not
I like
lying.
the-
I mean, I'm not a very good manipulator, but he's going to try to. Dante is more interested in framing it in a way that's going to help his family.
Sure.
And this is the way that he thinks he can.
All right, so we can set some of that in motion with your morning, post-morning routine after you sort of align and compartmentalize all your thoughts about it, which is something that Dante would absolutely do. I wonder, just because I know that Tutor is there, I also wonder if Tutor is staying silent during this process, or if you're sort of reading and understanding what he's thinking about.
I'm kind of keeping an eye on him. We've butt heads a lot, but I don't think it's not like Dante is unintelligent or undisciplined, right? So, while I know that he might lash out at times, I'm hoping to trust his judgment on this one. I'll only get involved if he starts doing something that I feel is antithetical to what he or I are trying to accomplish.
Okay. Yeah. As far as just, you can't touch your phone, Dante, today without just the phone cycling through so many notifications.
Oh, sure. Luckily for me, the compartmentalization models that Jason's provided me with keep this effort relatively stress-free, if not a bit tedious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So the best thing you can do really is sort of one of two avenues. You could get a hold of Susan to see if she would advocate for getting legal services involved. You can call legal services yourself, or just basically send them a message. Or you can contact Jason and have him work that angle if that's what you want, or ask him.
Jason's got quite a bit to do, and while he has a vested interest in my development and my trajectory, I think that Susan has a more direct interest, I would say a vested interest in the success of this particular venture. So I'm going to reach out to the stakeholder in this instance, which is Susan. Again, just kind of, this isn't, in a lot of ways, this is not Dante's strategy. This is what he thinks that Jason would want him to do. This is how he thinks Jason would want him to operate, given the hierarchy and given the fact that everybody's kind of under fire right now, to kind of rally, internally and not blow a whistle that could alert the shades.
Yeah, you get Jason. He picks the phone up. Hey, what's going on? You didn't kick somebody in the face, right?
No, not today. It's a little early for that. Look, I'm actually looking to get a line into Susan because I think that this situation with my brother could spiral out of hand if he doesn't have the proper representation. There's really no telling how angry the Grand is, and we don't necessarily know what's happening or how deep this little rabbit hole goes. So I do want to go see him and I do want to talk to him, but that conversation is not going to be privileged if we don't have an attorney present. So if I want to get answers, we need to get him a lawyer that we know we can trust to see this thing through.
I mean, certainly the group has legal services, so we could potentially leverage them. If we're going to do that, we need to do it quietly, though. Okay. Let me make some calls and see who I can get to go down there, who's on our roster of people that we can trust to keep it quiet. I assume that you'll want to be there?
I've cleared my morning, so I'm ready to head down there whenever I can meet with someone, and I figure we can just go in together.
Yeah, I can reach out to Susan if that's what you want.
How is she with all this?
The stuff that... She's still recovering really from the sphere, you understand.
No, I understand that, but there's no way that she's going to let this storm happen without a say.
No, clearly, as your more direct agent, she's been chomping at the bit. I've been holding her back a little bit because I want to make sure that the stuff that we've asked her to work through is where it needs to be. It's important when you go through a situation, it's harrowing, such like this, that the program can sort of help put you back in an organized state mentally. And that's what we're making sure. And I'm not saying anything to the opposite with her. She's very professional. But it's also important to make sure that she's ready for what comes next. Because media on this stuff so far has not gone away. I mean, it'll probably die in the next 12 hours, but...
You're talking about my kerfuffle?
Yeah. Yeah, we've mostly written some of it off as a Hollywood stunt, but we've done our best to inject all sorts of social media trolls and people that discount things. We've got people stepping up to talk about their time in film and how this could have been done and all sorts of stuff. Muddy the waters, but when you get out there the next time, you really got to think, because the hats, the mirror shades, all that stuff, they pay attention, real close attention now.
Well, hopefully they're doing their best to stay on top of whatever this drug situation is. We can't have that stuff here. Whatever it is.
I know a little bit about it at this point, but I'm continuing to work on learning more. I'll reach out to Susan and I'll let you know, okay?
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I appreciate it. And if you need anything in the interim, I will be around.
Good to know.
I'm going to check in on my sister while I wait. But yeah, just let me know as soon as I can head down there.
Sure. Speaking of checking in on a sister, I absolutely have to go back to the now previous night because we have some things to work out, Cami.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, so you had performed a rite of cleansing in an attempt to purge whatever was connected to Mariana's spirit. It isn't even so much that it was part of her body, but it was trying to coil around her essence. And as you'd gone through and done this ritual out here at the pack home, and something had come out of her. This viscous black fluid had just come up and out of her. And that's when the shadows moved and something alerted the pack that they were not alone. And so, you watch Anna and you watch Thomas and eventually Neil begin to move into action. It does not take long for the Pack Aurun to bathe herself completely in black fur. She's powerfully built and is eager to take on any number of physical challenges presented her way. When the shadows move, they eventually coalesce into this glossy, slick, tar creature. It has bubbling and shifting eyes all throughout its form. It has mouths that snap and bite. And the call from Anna, her howl, is something that chills even you. The case is pretty simple.
Mm-hmm.
Protect Mariana, but this thing must be destroyed.
Yes. 2 questions.
Yeah.
How is Mariana? Is she conscious?
Yes, Mariana is conscious, although at this point, so there's this thing when werewolves change that happens to humans. There's we can say mental unpleasantness.
Mm-hmm.
You're aware of it.
Okay.
You're aware of it and the effects that it has on humans and what it does to them. And there can be a madness, so to speak, that comes over them.
Indeed.
Some people just pass out. Some people get really, really, really upset. You've seen people break down and just cry.
Mm.
Mostly, I'll be making a willpower roll for Mariana.
Okay. My second question is now going to turn to a third question. But my second question is, where is this monster in proximity to Mariana and myself?
I would say probably about 40 or so feet. They're at the edge of the firelight that is here.
Okay.
And it looks like it's essentially Thomas and Anna versus this thing. You've never really seen Neil engage in anything close to combat. You know that he's willing, but as a Bonar and as the pack, essentially as the biggest non-combatant in the pack, it's not his thing. He will fight.
Okay. So my first instinct is to get Mariana away from this creature.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be have Anna and Thomas? They've changed in front of her, so she's experiencing.
Yes.
This. Okay. Okay. And the walk from the car to this clearing was pretty far.
It was reasonably long, yeah, because you can't drive a car anywhere near this place. You had to walk.
Okay. Well, I want to do something kind of crazy.
I like that. Give me crazy.
I want to spend a rage to shift into my Glabro form and essentially sprint Mariana to the cars and sprint back to join the fight.
Okay. Yeah, totally possible. So you spend a rage and you call upon your blood and you get a little taller, you get a little stronger, you get a progressively more pronounced jawline, and you also pick Mariana up with ease.
Yes, I know she's freaking out considerably, but better that she's out of danger as much as possible.
Yeah.
So that's what we're gonna do for our first action.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll have you make a dexterity and athletics roll to see how much distance you can put between yourself and the creature.
Okay. So 3, 2, and then I get bonuses for Glabro. 2. Okay. No, not 2. Okay. I rolled 2 10s, so a total of 5 successes.
Nice. So you don't have any issue at all picking her up and moving. You're strong enough, certainly, and you're now making your way back towards the cars. But in doing so, you hear, like over your shoulder, you can hear your pack mates beginning to combat this thing. You're somewhat familiar with from legends of what many Fomori take as far as their forms. And you know that they're fighting something that is meant to die.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna roll now for, let's see here. It gives me a little chart here for delirium based for humans, but I know about what Anna's willpower is, or Mariana's willpower is. So I'm gonna roll that because I like rolling dice. It's fun. She seems to beg and plead with you as you hustle her out. She begs you not to hurt her. She's terrified. She doesn't resist you moving her, but she's certainly scared.
Yes, I honestly, at this point, it's the mission. It's the task at hand. There's no speaking. There is simply what must be done. No comforting. Which is very out of character for Cami, but given the situation.
Oh, yeah. So when you get her to the car, you see something in her eyes that you catch. You see that she has moved from being completely sort of conciliatory and concerned about her own safety, and she's genuinely curious. Like, you set her down, you get her into the car. I assume you're putting her in her SUV.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so when you set her down there carefully and sort of pack her into the car and shut the door, she's still looking at you, but you don't see fear so much as you see wonder. And then you probably hustle back to the fight.
I think before hustling back, noticing that, I will say in a very gruffy sort of voice, I'll keep you safe. Flee if you feel the need to, but you will be protected. And then I'll run back.
Okay. You hustle back. So at this point, a couple of rounds will have passed. And Anna and Thomas are knee deep. Like, Anna is in the middle of this thing, this nasty tar creature that's sort of slipping around on the ground and forming shapes. These were pseudopods that attack and hit and then move again. And she's just full of as much rage as she can get a hold of, trying to find the core of what this thing is.
Kind of taking in all the information that I can as quickly as I can before diving into the fight myself.
Yeah, so the way we'll do this to sort of resolve combat in this case is I'll have you make a dex brawl roll for me.
Okay.
And then depending upon your potential successes, we'll let you roll damage and see how well the whole pack works.
Okay. I only rolled one success, but it was a 10.
Okay. That's good to know. So Thomas did pretty well. But what we all want to know is, how does the Black Fury do?
Absolutely.
It's her job. Really good at it. Okay. So go ahead and make a strength roll for me with your. Are you shifting Kronos or are you staying Galabro?
I am staying Galabro for right now.
Okay.
So you said a strength roll?
Yep. Strength
Okay,
plus
that's
successes, and we'll see how you do as far as damage.
sick. 2 successes on the strength roll.
Okay. So you pile on along with your packmates. Thomas pitches in and shreds part of this thing. But realistically, it's Anna that does the most significant damage to it. Her claws are steaming hot. And when she cuts through this thing, you can tell that not only does the tar give way, but it essentially corrodes and calcifies after she's done with it. And within a few rounds of combat, you'll end up picking this thing apart.
Excellent. With the monster destroyed, I will then, before even shifting to Hamid, I will check over everybody to check for wounds.
Yeah, certainly. So both Anna and Thomas are wounded. Anna way worse than Thomas because she was basically in the center of the fight. You can tell that there's tar effectively like clinging to her fur, and it's also in her wounds.
Okay. I would like to use Mother's Touch on Anna. I am trying to quickly find it in the book. Okay, so I have to spend 1 Gnosis. Can do. And then Intelligence plus Empathy. 4 successes.
Oh, very nice. So I will make a resistance roll based on the Fomori's power. Okay. You are able to close some of Anna's wounds, but not all of them. It doesn't look like any of them are mortal by any means. And if there's one thing you know about her is that she's very tough. She does not shift back to Galabra or Hamid form. She stays in Krynos.
Okay. As much as Cami's healer nature is kind of coming forward again, she's going to understand that Anna's good. And she'll turn to Thomas and I'll do the same thing.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a roll for Thomas.
Okay. 5 successes.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. You end up closing all of Thomas's open wounds. He thanks you.
Of course.
And then he shifts back to a form where he can more easily speak in and says, "Where is the woman? Where did she go?"
I brought her back to the car just to be safe.
I do not know if the desert is safe for her.
No, I agree. If she hasn't driven off already, I'm going to take her home.
Good. It is wise.
Is what unicorn wills. And I'll look to Anna and I will kind of give a curt nod like it was a good fight, fighting alongside her again.
She acknowledges you with a very respectful dip of her snout.
I'll look for Neil.
Yep.
And I'll kind of look around for Neil as well.
He's not hard to find. Like once you look around for a little while, you eventually see Neil. He's tucked into like a rock, just sort of patiently waiting. You smell, we'll just say, likely herbal remedies being produced in his area. He's somebody that deals with anxiety.
Yeah.
And so he self-medicates.
Of course. And knowing that, I'll kneel down next to him and say, "Are you okay? Do you need anything?"
Yeah, I'm okay. He sort of looks at the ground a little sheepishly.
Put a hand on his shoulder. You are
It's
still one
tough.
of Gaia's warriors.
Sometimes I feel out of place here.
I understand. Give his shoulder a squeeze and stand.
Is she okay?
She's okay.
Good. I hope we helped.
You all helped me tremendously. I will return the favor as soon as I can.
You head back to the SUV?
Yes, as I'm walking back, I'll shift back into Hamid.
Okay. You shift back. I'm going to say for storytelling purposes that you have a gift anchored on you that keeps your clothes in one piece.
Appreciate it.
Yep, no reason not to. It's a simple
Yeah.
gift taught to many Gauru. You shift back and you find Mariana in the SUV where you left her.
Mm.
And she is, I think the best words to describe would be she is having a moment. You have encountered many different humans having to deal with delirium.
Mm.
It's a protective measure, really.
Mm.
It's something that human brains do.
Mm.
And she's sort of just sitting in the passenger seat, not staring at her phone. She's staring straight ahead. She has her hands on her stomach. And she seems to be trying to think through things when you get back into the car.
Yeah, I'll approach in such a way she probably actually wouldn't notice me, so I'll actually knock on the window without just getting in.
Okay.
So
You know.
that way she kind of knows I'm there.
She startles a little bit. Waits for you to get in.
I'll get in. Hey,
Hey.
how are you? Are you okay?
I mean, I feel better.
That's good.
That is the weirdest Reiki class I have ever seen.
Yeah, like I said, it's very esoteric. But as long as you're okay, I'm sorry it got a little wild.
I don't even know what to think.
Honestly, you're better off just forgetting about it.
I don't know if I can do that.
I know. My advice: just try when it does come up, when you do remember, don't think too deeply about it, and maybe let's keep this between us.
Yeah, keep it between us. She sort of rubs her stomach.
Baby, okay?
I think so, yeah.
Good. Whew, what a night. Let's get you home, yeah?
You head back. You head back to the house and you drop Mariana off.
Mm-hmm.
And she carefully gets back in. She's received by the rest of the family that are here. They ask you similar questions. Is she okay? What happened at the hospital?
I, answer vaguely, say she's okay. She's going to be feeling a lot better. Things like that.
They seem to be very concerned about her, and they
Of course.
thank you for driving her back.
No need to thank me. That's what family's for.
After you drop her off, are you heading into the city?
Yes. I'll of course leave her car, and I'll start walking in the city.
So we will set our camera down with Cami and have her heading off into Vegas proper. So Oliver, after dropping things with John Crescent, and I suppose the question would be is where does your day move from there, or evening?
Well, John's busy, so actually I'm going to talk to Sherry.
John's busy, yes. You're going to talk to Sherry.
Mhm.
Okay. So Sherry's in the public side of the library. She's basically the de facto head librarian publicly. But she is, as you can imagine, shelving books and helping what occasional customers as they come in.
Hey, Sherry,
Hey, Oliver.
can I ask you a couple questions? You have time to answer a couple questions?
Yeah.
Don't worry, it's nothing, get anybody in trouble or anything.
Sure.
How would I go about getting a hold of House Big?
She looks at you sort of strangely. Why?
Well, I kind of want to see about if they can help me erase certain things.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I think I get your meaning. How do you get a hold of them? Well, we could do a internal communication.
Okay.
All the houses have something like that. We could, in effect, write a sort of, well, I mean, not an email, but we could send a message. But the thing to understand is that House Thig isn't so much, they're not really connected very much anymore as a traditional house. So they're available, but we'd really have to like sort of point it at a specific person.
Okay. All right. Just something to, I guess, put a pin in for later.
Sure.
Also, do we have any contacts with defense attorneys?
I'm almost concerned to ask why.
Well, there's a little incident from my awakening that still hangs over my head, like the sword of Damocles.
Okay. So, yeah, no, I remember John had said something to me about the house. You had a house that went up?
Yeah, it was an explosive event.
You wouldn't be the first one of us. She almost says hermetic, but then she doesn't. You wouldn't be the first one of us that's had some explosive awakening.
I would assume, yes.
It's
kind of our gig.
It is, in a way. I mean, it is our main art. Speaking of art, how are you doing on the Prime study?
I'm working on it.
Okay.
I know. I'm racking up a debt.
Yeah. Not that debt isn't sitting over our heads right now, but...
Right, well, I'm working on that too.
Do I want to know how you're working on that?
I'm doing my job, which is gambling.
Okay. Fine. It's a lot of money.
I'm very good.
I know a lawyer. I know someone we could potentially get a hold of, but he and John don't always mix well.
So we'll just leave John out of it, huh?
Sure, except that I don't really go behind John's back.
You're not really going behind John's back. You're just helping out me and not putting him into the middle of a situation he doesn't like.
Tell me, have you ever been married?
No.
That's not the cornerstone of a good marriage, to be evasive.
Well, I mean, if he's going to make it more difficult, his presence, then, I mean, you could talk to him about it. You can tell him that that's what you want to do. Or, I mean, I asked about it, and if you're around him, you just don't have to involve him specifically directly into the situation.
No, I'm sure he's got more than enough things to worry about.
Yeah, I keep bringing him more stuff.
Okay, I'll reach out. There's a lawyer I know that works on the public defender side. He's good, but it's not like Vegas doesn't give him a wealth of opportunities too. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to send a message to a house that, for the most part, has been disassembled and disbanded, but you want their talents.
Mm-hmm.
You need to know how to get legal help.
Yes.
Okay. And I've done my part by reminding you to study.
Yes, right.
Good.
And you'll be glad to know I'm learning Latin.
It's an excellent language to know, especially in this space.
Yeah, I believe so.
It's also kind of dry, but there's some interesting parts of it.
Yeah. Anyhow, all right, I'll be leaving.
Okay. Take care.
Yep. Thank you. Michael,
Mhm.
do I have a general idea how much I brought to John? Because I had to handle it. So
From the safe?
Yeah.
Probably about 40,000 cash. It's a fair amount of money.
Yeah. Okay. And then I need to start looking into finding another game.
Okay. You want to find another high roller game?
Yes, but not for tonight because Kayleigh's out in the desert and I wanted her to come along.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So we can cycle forward a little bit time-wise and put sort of everybody now on the same path and timeline. And then I suppose here I'll just ask if there's anything pending. We'll cycle forward everyone to the next morning. And Cami, I know you spend that night investigating what happened, what's going on downtown. So I will get you pertinent information as necessary. And then everyone will be cycled forward the next morning. Kayleigh, I'm going to end with you if I can. Post Good Springs, post Paradise, where are you going to wrap up that day?
To be honest, depending on like what time I get back into Vegas,
Mhm.
I'm probably going home.
Sure.
Like chances are the whole excursion, especially like the mental taxation of this guy knowing who I was when I first showed up and saying we've had this conversation before, is kind of weighing down, and I'm a little tired after that.
Okay. Makes sense to me.
But probably what I would do, like after I got home, is send a message to Oliver and Dante and let them know that I have more information on the drug that I will tell them about tomorrow.
Okay, so Dante, you'd have woken or gotten that message last night, probably sometime when you were talking to Jason, but you can certainly have that information and act on it the next morning. Same thing would be true for Oliver. You'd get that message at night. If you want to reply, certainly, then go for it, because you're still on the same time path.
Yeah, see you tomorrow.
Okay. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to close this episode down, and we'll all get up on a new day, and we'll talk about legal representation and all the fun things that await our mages in Vegas who are, unbeknownst to them, running out of time. So thank you and good night.